You are watching PolicyWire from our Global Affairs Desk. There are over 27 million Sikhs in the world today, more than 20 million of which live in India. But the story of the Sikh community isn't just a domestic one, it is global. From Canada to the UK, the US to Australia, the Sikh diaspora continues to grow, bringing with it not just tradition and faith, but the memory of trauma and a commitment to justice. In these democratic societies, Sikhs are free to practice their faith, advocate for their rights, and call for justice for past atrocities, including the 1984 Operation Blue Star, the anti-Sikh riots that followed, and the 1985 Air India bombing. Some call for Khalistan, a separate Sikh state, while others seek integration or reconciliation within India. Their positions are not uniform, their experiences are diverse, but for Indian officials, nuance is inconvenient. In recent years, the Indian government has increasingly blurred the line between peaceful Sikh activism and violent separatism. Time and again, Sikh individuals abroad have been labelled Khalistani extremists, their political speech painted as a security threat, often without substantial evidence. This pattern of conflation and the disinformation that supports it has raised global concern. From Canadian newspapers to international human rights reports, there is growing documentation of coordinated campaigns to intimidate Sikh diaspora voices. Visa threats and pressure on NGOs, coercion of individuals, surveillance, recruitment of informants are all tools in what experts now call transnational regression. In 2023, a Canadian police chief stated that Indian officials were directly involved in intimidation and extortion against Sikhs in Canada. In 2024, a Sikh advocacy group presented similar evidence at a UN-sponsored forum, including testimonies of surveillance, threats, and even assassination plots. The most public case was that of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Canadian citizen and temple leader. India called him a terrorist. In June 23, he was killed in British Columbia, Canada. A year later, the then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stood in Parliament and said there was credible evidence linking Indian agents to Nijjar's murder. The fallout triggered a diplomatic standoff between Delhi and Ottawa.
Canada has declared its deep concerns to the top intelligence and security officials of the Indian government. In the strongest possible terms, I continue to urge the government of India to cooperate with Canada to get to the bottom of this matter.
3 suspects have since been charged in Canada with ongoing investigations into their alleged ties to the Indian state. The World Sikh Organization described the murder as just the tip of the iceberg. Unsurprisingly, India denies involvement. It accuses Western countries of harbouring extremists and continues to treat any mention of Khalistan as inherently violent. Critics argue that this approach ignores reality, that many Sikhs abroad are not militants but peaceful activists demanding dignity, remembrance, and rights. Meanwhile, in the United States, the US Justice Department charged 2 Indian nationals, including a former intelligence officer, with conspiring to assassinate Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, a dual US and Canadian citizen and leader of Sikhs for Justice. FBI officials allege the plot was organized by an Indian government official, another case of alleged transnational repression. The question now is no longer just about foreign interference, it is about global norms. When a democracy targets its critics beyond its own borders, when dissent is labelled extremism and identity is painted as treason, the damage goes far beyond one community. It endangers the core principles of democracy, sovereignty, and human rights. So, who speaks for the Sikhs? Increasingly, the answer depends not on where they are from, but on whether the world is willing to listen. This is PolicyWire. Stay tuned. That is all from us for today.